Well, hello. I am working in my January Traveler's Notebook. This is from Coco Daisy. I've done 2 projects already with this, and I think this is such a magical collection. So I have all the supplies. What I'd like to do is to set up the week view. I'll let you know I have reordered the pages. They have come out with a traveler's notebook that has the whole month in it, which is right here. Normally it's in the beginning of the traveler's notebook, but I have vowed to stay true to what I like, which is the week of the stripe pages, followed by all of the daily pages for that week, and then going to the next week. So if you haven't seen this video and you're interested in how I reorder the pages, I give you 2 options. I'll go ahead and put that link up in the corner and down below in the box. Right now, as I was just taking things out of my little box top that I store stuff in while creating, I just keep getting pulled back into using these beautiful papers. I love the Creative Kit papers. They're just one of my favorite things that Coco Daisy has done recently. And there's so many different ways to use them, but I have yet to use them actually in my weekly spreads because the pages are so beautifully designed, but I want to do them in a way where it's productive and beautiful, and also a great way for us to use our supplies within our daily planning space as well. So with all that said, I want to get going, just start setting up some of these pages. I do have a system in mind when I usually set up my pages. I love these boxes for meal planning, which I always put in this week's view, and there always is meal plan stickers that go with them. And sometimes I add a little flourish, sometimes I do them plain on their own, but I love just setting up. It's just a nice little relaxing time for me to get acquainted with what I need to do for the weeks. And I also play with shapes, and because I reorder the pages a lot, sometimes they don't coordinate as well as I like them to. So I just add a few bits and bobs here and there, and it really rounds out the pages. I also try to be creative and most inventive in the process of putting things together by using a lot of the items that I already do have within the kits, just to make the space a little bit more special, including just adding the sticky note to the top of here. I am going to bridge the gap here by using one of our stationery kit stickers. I think that would look good right here on the corner. They are self-adhesive, so I just take off that back, and now I have a nice little place for this moth sticker, and it kind of makes this corner not so obtrusive. Okay, so now just like in the matter of a nanosecond, I have a spread that I love to be in. Let's make one last executive decision here. I love these washi strips. We're just gonna make a little divide down here underneath my meal plan, and now I have an extra space cordoned off for whatever I want it to. For the rest of the pages, I think I'm going to take this out of its sleeve just so it's easier to do this on a nice little flat surface. Still will use my clip though. There isn't much I really would want to change about this design right here. I do need to add just something right here. This fox has always been one of the beautiful things that I've noticed and enjoyed about this kit. So I'm going to use this stationery kit fox and just kind of add him to the beautiful spread here. And now I am able to start doing some dates. Now we did get some dates in the main planner kit, and they're enough for each of the days. I did previously use some of the numbers for 2026, but for now I'm just gonna enjoy putting I think it's 29 if I remember correctly. Yes, 29 right here in my spread and making that a Monday. Now I love using just a variety of different things, either die cuts or stickers. It really doesn't matter to me. I've got a die cut right here, and while it's a thicker bit of paper, I don't mind it in my planner, and I kind of enjoy the larger cardstock feel sometimes when I turn my pages. These numbers are so beautiful. I love the large scale of them, and I love the grid background behind. It's so fun to use these already. This one, I really do have a lot of space to work with. So this is a great opportunity for me to start using some of those extra bits I have, especially from the Creative Kit papers. These are so beautiful. I was thinking about this beautiful stripe and adding just kind of like a mini tip in, not very big of a page. I'm gonna do it on this side and not this side so I can see this. Well, maybe I'll just do it from here. Maybe that's the better way to do it. Let's cut this just a little bit to size, and then we can go ahead and add it kind of like a little nod in our planner. There's two ways to do tip ins. You certainly can just add them like this. I want to be able to fully turn it, so I'm going to use some of my invisible tape. One of my favorite tricks and hacks to do is just put tape onto paper and cut it, because it'll be a lot easier to cut it and make sure it's manageable in half versus just doing it in the air or guesstimating. You get a better cut that way. So one part of that goes on one side and the other goes on the back side. So I'm just going to make an open-ended list over here. Let's add one of the text boxes. And well, first of all, let's add something a little decorative underneath. Let's put this down here. Our text box headers don't always have to be at the top. They can always be at the bottom too. That's where we're gonna put this one. And now I'll add some dots, and then we'll be in business. So we have an open-ended list ready to go anytime we need one on those 1 or 2 days. Let's make this top portion a place where I could either write a journal entry or just thoughts of the day. I'm just going to use some washi tape. Sometimes I use brackets to, entertain the idea or encourage myself to make like a statement like that. But why not make something curved like that? I think it looks fun. I'm going to go ahead and add some dots just to make it a little bit more special. Make it bigger and smaller. So it looks a little bit more festive. And then on the back side, there's plenty of space for me to add anything if I wanted to, but I think in this case, I want to add one of these deco cards. These are just such a fun addition to the stationery kit, and I just think they're beautiful. I want to make this a little bit more. Let's do it this. The first week in January is always so bitter cold. Let's add something like this. Let's frame it just a little bit. Plus it'll help get rid of our dot markers. Sometimes dot markers are juicy, and I did push quite hard. So yes, it was my fault, but I knew what I was getting into. Oh, my flower's upside down. Don't want to do that. So I can just cut a little header here for my deco card. And how about we make it kind of like it's hanging from a place, like on the wall. So let's use one of our circle stickers. And these are dot circles that are in the kit. And then I'm going to attach this. We can attach that kind of like this. And then to add a little bit of whimsy, we take one of our Unipins. This is a marker, and we can just kind of draw like it was hanging there all along and into our beautiful lives. Snow day vibes. I think that's beautiful. Let's add another piece of washi tape just to balance the top and the bottom. This time I'm going to use these washi tape strips because I just want a thin one. I don't need very thick, and it'll make that statement piece just so perfect. We can leave that right there because it enters into the next page. I just wanted it being able to turn, but there you go. Isn't that great? A nice little fun place. And now I can put in my date stickers. I believe I'm on the 30th, 31st, and the 1st. And since this is January 1st, let's add our January sticker. Oh, how about down here? We need some sort of base underneath it. We've got several flowers. We might as well add one more. I think that would be fun. And then our day of the week, which is Thursday, and we'll just stick that right underneath. Perfect. That's a fun little space. Just takes a minute. How great is that? Oh, it looks so great. So now I can add any additional lines in here. I'm thinking maybe I want to just put another quick line across. Let's use some of those washi strips once again. I've got tan. I might as well join in the theme. We'll add one more tan line. And we'll go from there to, I don't know, probably around here. We'll have a menu that day, a meal plan, because we always have ham and we always have black-eyed peas on New Year's Day. We usually don't have any other events other than football, which is always a fun one. Let's add a few of our dots. Might as well write in one of our pens we got from the kit. This is the Sarasa R.4, so we always have ham. We have black-eyed peas. Of course, we can add to it, but that's a good start with our meal plan for New Year's Day. Oh, I'm so excited. I was just digging, I found this extra piece of vellum. This was in the stationery kit. What if I added it to this spread here and made it on a tip-in on this side, so it would be lifting up this direction, and then adding some sort of decoration on that side? All right, there is my little tip-in. You know, the only thing I don't care for when I do tip-ins is when the tape goes over and onto the page without holding the paper. It just kind of makes me cringe a little bit. So I always want to take that extra bit off if I didn't trim correctly. All right, so now I have a little flip up here. I want to add a little bit of accent to it. How about some of these larger stickers? We can put these all the way down the side. Let's use these 3 blue ones. They all look like they are in the same colorway, and it kind of makes it look like washi tape too. Let's see what it would look like if I added a sticky note to this. I think that would look great. I'm just going to trim off just the edge, just so it doesn't hang over. And I don't need to permanently adhere it because we certainly can use that space for planning. But I am going to add some sort of sticker on top just because. How about this bunny? Ooh, that would look cute. Hello, Mr. Bunny. So while it's still a sticky note, we could do the other bunny the other direction on the bottom. That would look fun. And now we have a cool little place to write. Let's add a few more stars throughout the page. All we have left is to put our dates on yet once again. So we're on the 2nd. See, we should put this one down here. This is a Friday. And now we can make this dividing line here for Saturday and Sunday. I guess I could use a piece of washi tape, but why not use what I already have out, which is my dot marker. I use my dot marker end sometimes with just as a marker. Add our dates. This is the 3rd. And now I'm all set up for my week here in my traveler's notebook. 1 week done, probably around 15 minutes of just playing around. And now I have a spread that I am very happy to be in and ready for the first little bit of January 2026. Thanks for meeting me here today on my channel. If you like your content, feel free to like and subscribe. I'd love to have you back. Bye guys.